Good day, ladies and gents. Okay, so we're going to be continuing quadrilaterals. We're on page 17 and 18. We're going to do all the questions on the left side, and then you guys are going to be in charge of the stuff on the right side. So make sure that you have pages 1 through 3 on your desk. These little notes are going to help you know what rules we can follow. Just make sure, well, mostly just pages 1 and 2. Pages 1 and 2 would be the best. So make sure that you have that out. All right, let's just start getting this going. Make sure that you guys have a pencil and a different color of pen, or just at least one utensil, and definitely you want your calculator. All right, let's get this going. All right, so here we go. So up here at the top, be mindful that they said A through C are parallelograms, D through F are rectangles, G through J are rhombi, and K through L are squares. So before you start, you might want to just write rectangle, parallelogram, whatever you want next to everything, or just be mindful. So the first three questions, A, B, and C, are going to be parallelograms. All right, so those, just be mindful of that. All right, so here we go. So angle B and C. Okay, so looking at these for a parallelogram, so just look at them. Do you think that they equal each other or add up to 180? And the rule says that these are opposite from each other. So the rule for opposite angles are equal to each other. So those are equal to each other. So let's do it. So 10x, we'll just angle that a little better. All right, so 10x minus 19 is equal to 7x plus 23. All right, so those are going to be equal to each other, and all you have to do now is solve. All you have to do now is solve those. All right, so subtract 7x from both sides. We get 3x minus 19 equals 23. Add 19 to both sides, and we get 3x is equal to 42. Okay, and I'm just double checking that in my calculator. 23 plus 19. Yes. Okay, and then we're going to divide both sides by 3. And we would get x is equal to 14. Okay, now once you find what x is, I've taught you guys to make sure that you plug it back in for a number of reasons. One, to double check yourself, but also to help you find whatever they're asking for. So let's plug it back in. So 10 times 14 minus 19. This right here would turn into 121, and over here 7 times 14 plus 23, that would also be 121. So this disappears in 121, this disappears in 121. All right, awesome. Okay, now let's see, they asked for angle B, which was 121. Awesome. They asked for angle C. Oh, look, now that we have this angle, that should help us find this other angle. So we know, looking at this, if we have this angle here, then this angle right here, both of those would add up to 180. So notice how I'm just matching up pictures. I have this, I'm looking for this. Oh, look at that. I would get 180 degrees. So if this is 121, subtract from 180 degrees, and this would have to be 59 to complete the 180. And this would also be 59. So angle C is 59 degrees. Okay, and if you are not sure if you're getting the right answers, then there's an answer key at the bottom of 18. So these will always be your first answers, and these will be your second answers. So 121 is right here, and for angle C, that would be down here, and that's 59, which is right here. So it's nice to have like a little answer key. All right, so that was A. So you guys are in charge of B. So let's go ahead and go to C. We're not coloring anything, so we're just going to skip that part. Okay, so C, we're going to go to C, and C is still a parallelogram because that was the list up here. C is a parallelogram. Awesome. All right, so looking at this, for C, they gave us these side lengths, right? All right, so they said that x to V is 27 minus 2x. And they said V to Z is 3x plus 2. All All right, so if we look at the rules for parallelograms, so we're on these diagonals, and what do you think is happening right here? Well, doesn't it look kind of equal, right? So if you look at the rules, diagonals bisect each other, so this and this are equal to each other because they have those single notches. So those are equal to each other, so set them equal. 27 minus 2x is equal to 3x plus 2. And then you would just solve. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. I get 27 is equal to 5x plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. 25 equals 5x. Divide by 5, x equals 5. Once you find what x is, I've taught you guys to make sure that you plug it back in, right? So 27 minus 27 minus 2 times 5. All right, so that's really 27 minus 10, which is 17. And then 3 times 5 plus 2 is really a 17. All right, so this disappears and now 17. This disappears and now 17. Okay, so that's all I know right now. Let's see what they actually wanted. So they wanted v to z. Oh, that's easy. That's 17. And they wanted x to z. Okay, so that's the whole shebang. So 17 plus 17 would be 34. So all of that is 34. And that's C. All right, let's go down to E. All right, for letter E, they said that J to L, now that's the whole shebang. J to L is 5x plus 1. That's the whole shebang. And they said M to K is 8x minus 32. All right, it's the whole shebang. Now, wait a minute. Is this a parallelogram? What is this? So let's go back up to the top. And they said D to F. So E is in there. So D to F are rectangles. So these are all rectangles that we're looking at. So this entire distance and this entire distance. So we're looking at page 2, the rules of rectangles. So all the parallelogram rules are happy. But in addition to that, we also know that the diagonal is congruent. So all of this is equal to all of this. Awesome. So these two things are equal to each other. So let's just do it. So 5x plus 1 is equal to 8x minus 32. And now you would just solve. All right. So subtract 5x from both sides. You get 1 equals 3x minus 32. Add 32 to both sides. 33 equals 3x. Divide by 3, x equals 11. Now be careful. Every time you find x, you have to plug it back in, right? So just to double check your answers. A lot of people go, oh, this entire distance is 11. No, x is 11. Plug it back in. So 5 times 11 plus 1, this would be 56. And 8 times 11 minus 32, this is 56. So they were supposed to be equal, so I feel really good about this. So this entire distance now is 56, and this entire distance is 56. So they wanted J to L. Okay, that's great. J to L, all that was 56. And they wanted N to K, just this little distance. So we can look at the rules of the rectangle on page 2. Of the rectangle, we also know that all the diagonal parts are equal. So this entire distance is 10. All these little things are 5. So we know that all of these are equal. So this entire distance is 56. Divide that by 2, and this is now 28, 28, 28, and 28. All right, so N to K is 28. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. So page 18. So we're now on page 18. All right, so, okay, so now we're talking about angles. G. Now we're on G. Hey, man, we have these little angles. Oh, wait, look. Here, if we go back to the beginning, G through J are rhombi. So we're going to be looking at the rhombus rules. So on page 2, the rhombus, it's basically a square knocked over, right? So all the parallelogram rules are true. But in addition to that, we know all 4 sides are equal. The inside angles right here, those diagonals perpendicular, so that all these angles inside are 90 degrees. And on top of that, these 4 are equal. These 4 are equal because diagonals are bisect the angles. They're angle bisectors. So all these little angles are equal here. All these little angles are equal there. All right, so keeping that in mind, I know for a fact that this right here is 90 degrees. Okay, and then we have this triangle. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so we have this triangle right in here. So we know the three angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So let's go ahead and do that. So these three angles add up to 180. So 5x plus 2 plus 2x plus 18 plus 90. Those three angles add up to 180. All right, let's solve. All right, so 5x and a 2x makes 7x. 2, 18, and 90 make 110 equals 180 degrees. Okay, subtract 110 from both sides. You get 7x is equal to 70. Divide by 7, x equals 10. Once you get x, I've taught you guys to make sure that you plug it in. So we're going to plug it back into here. So 5 times 10 plus 2, we get 52. 2 times 10 plus 18, we get 38, and this should still be 90. All right, so here we go. So this angle right here, 5x, so it's really a 52. And this angle right here is really a 38. Okay, so they wanted angle D. So the angle is at D. So it's either going to be here, here, or the whole shebang. So here, here, or the whole shebang. They wanted CDF. So they just want this angle. So at D, so CDF, they wanted this angle. That's 52. Awesome. And then they wanted angle E. So the angle is at E, and I'm pointing towards D and F. So they want the whole shebang over here. So I have to find these angles over here. Now, if we look at the rules of the rhombus, so all four of these angles would be equal to each other, right? So if this is 52, this is 52, this is 52, this is 52. Still looking at the rules of the rhombus, all four of these are equal. So if this is 38, this is 38, this is 38, and this is 38. And they wanted D, E, F. So they wanted this entire angle. So at E, pointing at D and F, they wanted the entire angle. So that was 38. 38 times, so 38 plus 38, this entire angle right here, all of it is 76. All of that's 76. All this is 76. Over here, 52 and 52. All of this would be 104. All of this would be 104. Okay, and they wanted just E, which is all 76. So 76. That's your answer for that. Okay, got two more problems. Let's keep going. All right, so letter I. They said Z to X, that's the whole shebang, that's 74. And they said W to Y, that's the whole shebang, that's 48. That's the whole shebang. And so letter I, so let's see, letter I is still a rhombus. So G, H, I, and J that's still a rhombus, right? So we know that that no matter about the diagonals on the rhombus, there's nothing about diagonals equaling each other or anything, but it's still a parallelogram first and foremost. So if we look at the rules of a parallelogram on page 1, we know that they got cut in half. So if this is 48, then this would have to be 24, and this is 24. If this is 74, divide that by 2, this would have to be 37, this is 37. All right, let's see what they wanted. They wanted V to X. Okay, that's easy. That's 37. Awesome. And they wanted Z to W. They wanted this angle, they wanted this side out here. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, to find the missing side, we know for a fact that the diagonals were 90 degrees on the inside, right? So if this is 90 degrees, then I can do a parallelogram. Parallelogram, sorry. I can do the Pythagorean Theorem. Okay, so we're looking at this right here. 90 degrees, where this is 37, this is 24, and this is x. All right, when you put your finger on the right angle, the two sides you're touching are a and b. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And the one side you're not touching is c. So we have 37 squared plus 24 squared equals x squared. Or you can switch those. As long as x is your c, you're okay. All right, let's do it. So 37 squared, we get 1369 plus 24 squared, you get 576 equals x squared. All right, so 1369 plus 576, we get 1945. All right, equals x squared. To get x by itself, you're going to square root both sides. All right, so square root, and we get 44.1 equals x. So this is 44.1, 44.1, 44.1, and 44.1 because a rhombus is a knocked over square, so all four sides are equal. Awesome. So they wanted this side right here, and that's 44.1. 44.1. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, and last problem. Last problem. Okay, they said for K, so K through L are squares. So let's look at our rules for squares. So here are the rules for squares. They didn't give us a single side length. They only want the angles. And what's awesome about squares, you automatically know all of the angles. So I know that this entire angle is 90, 90, 90, 90, because that's the rules of rectangles, because squares follow all the rules. And then I know in here, all these are 90 because that's the rule of a rhombus. I know that this is that these are 45 because they're angle, because not only is this 90 for a rectangle, but also this is the angle bisector because of a rhombus. So all these are 45. So I actually know all the angles right off the bat. All right, so I want angle B. So here's angle B. So the question is, do I want the top, the bottom, or the whole shebang? So angle B, I'm pointing towards D and C. So I'm pointing towards D and I'm pointing towards C, and that's 45 degrees. And then I want angle E. Okay, so that's angle E, and I'm pointing towards A and B. And that's 90 degrees. And that's it. So you guys are in charge of the other problems. So make sure you get that squared away. All right. Have a great and wonderful day.